Intelligent, insightful, smart. These are words other podcasts use to describe themselves, not us. This is Fairly Harmless, where missing the point is only the beginning. With musical accompaniment provided by the Boston Horns. East Coast Funk. Please enjoy Andrew and James.
So, this is James.
And this is Andrew.
And this is
Fairly Harmless. Right, I'm the king of the sound effects over here.
James is king of this. That's my favorite sound effect. I think James's favorite sound effect is the
This is my new favorite.
That's all I've got to say about that.
That's great. Yes, folks, that was Schwa. He's been programmed in as a sound drop for us.
He doesn't know that though. So
No.
when we drop this one, he'll find out. That's one of the things.
That's all I've got to say about that.
That's right, Schwa. That's all you would say about that. Come to think of it.
That is so great. James dropped the most recent episode. When was that, James? Friday night?
No, it was last night.
It was last
Saturday
night.
night.
Hey, I'm going to drop this episode, texted it to me. I saw it like an hour and a half later, said, okay, great. So there had been 2 downloads, and I downloaded it and listened to it all the way through. And by the time I came back, because I wanted to listen to it again, 10 other people had downloaded it in the same period. And I said, holy shit.
Yeah.
So there must be people who are getting notifications,
Yeah, now
which seems insane.
more people have listened to that than the previous episode. So I don't think they understand how it works.
Holy shit. Holy shit. That's
a weird thing. I don't think they understand how the backwards website works, which is unfortunate that the first episode can't be first. It has to be all the way here down here at the bottom.
It's fine. I think it proves what I have always suspected, which is that it's really, you can listen to any of them.
Yeah, it's true.
At any time.
The running joke lately has been that 3 Tickets to Paradise turned a hard corner, hard left.
It did. And I, folks, I want to say for those of you that haven't listened to it, or those of you that haven't listened to it closely, I just barely opened the door. This is me, Andrew. I barely opened the door. It was James.
I ran myself right through that.
James and Fast Eddie, who jumped through feet first. I wasn't even going there.
Was it feet first or was it more head first?
Head and feet first with all the crudity. I just said I went to the bathroom and it was James.
No, you said you aimed for a number 3.
I aimed for number 3, but I didn't go into explicit detail about what number 3 was.
Yeah, but you got to run with it, right?
You and St. Edward all the way.
So I got a prop for you.
Oh,
I brought a prop for you this time.
Jesus Christ. This is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever fucking seen, people. It's the Holiday Yule Log DVD.
Yeah, it comes in its own little box.
Right. This is for drunkards, alcoholics from the upper Northeast.
This is the Holiday Yule Log. It includes a 90-minute Yule Log DVD, gift book. It has carols and lyrics that you can sing along to it. This is going to be on our TV when we record a holiday-themed podcast, which we're going to have to do.
Jesus Christ, TV's on fire again. Put this fuck TV out. That's every Yankees experience with the Yule Log, apparently.
Right.
Until it became streamable.
I could put it up on the YouTube right now.
If you're from Connecticut, what do you call yourselves up there?
New Englanders.
New Englanders? Great, the Yule Log. And you tried to pay money for it, but the person said,
Omar.
No.
Omar, I bought this from Omar.
Right. Well, it was a gift. It was charity.
I tried to pay Omar for it, but he wouldn't have it.
And as I recall, your explanation was him saying, I don't know why you want that, but just take it.
That's right.
Where's Omar from? Why did he have it?
Omar had it Omar, I think, received it as a gift.
Probably a gag gift, right?
It was during the yard sale episode, which is based in Mystic Pizza. When I was telling you about morning pizza,
Right, our first business idea.
you'll notice that I should have referenced the Yule log. I mean, it's there on the graphic.
It is on the graphic, and we should explain that the graphics sort of represent what we're talking about.
Kind of represent
All of the graphics for the episodes are generated AI.
AI. It's all AI generated.
Mm-hmm. There may be hidden meaning.
There's deep hidden meanings, or then sometimes there's obvious meaning,
but
like in the last episode or in the second to last episode.
Right. If you think you recognize any of that, you don't.
You don't. None of it is from a time period before right now.
Exactly. Right. It's like the scene in Spaceballs when he says, "When is this happening?"
Right now.
Right now. Now.
Now.
When did that happen?
Just then.
All right. So we've already done "Do Fish Get Thirsty?" That was with Schwab.
Oh, I got something from the conversation this morning. I was telling somebody about the whole show, about the. I'm in the mode of self-promoting now.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm ready to go wide with this.
You're ready to pull the.
I'm ready to pull the trigger. I'm ready to see if we can get off our little island and get on to the big show, to the big time.
Is it the island of misfit toys?
It's the island of broken toys.
Right.
So the Misfit Toys is a nice island. Ours is the one that had the Mungo as a child and he fucking broke all his toys.
Are they broken?
They're broken.
Emotionally broken.
They're all the broken.
All the broken.
They're all the brokens. Yes.
Cool.
So I got a new idea for you.
Do tell.
We've talked about this. We were talking about this the other night when number 2 was here.
Yes.
I'm looking for you and possibly the studio audience and tell me movies where the sequel was at least as good as the original, if not better.
Oh, this was really tough. I was able to dig out 1 or 2 suggestions that weren't patently obvious because when I told you what Empire Strikes Back after Star Wars, you said, yeah, we know. And I said, well, what answers the Falcon question? I came up with, my buds from Kansas, those guys.
They would be the ones.
They know.
Maybe that's the time
shit.
Maybe I should just cut this bit out and then we'll bring it up then.
If you, we can leave it this way. They can listen to it
and be prepared.
I mean,
like the $25,000 pyramid, which later was the $100,000 pyramid. I might add.
Right. We're going to be
using. Clark.
We're going to be using cryptocurrency.
Yes.
For our.
We should make our own cryptocurrency, our own NFT. Now that nobody does that anymore.
It's going to be NFT currency.
That's right. Well, fairly harmless. It needs a short name, that's like Dogecoin and Bitcoin, Faircoin,
Faircoin. There we go.
Harmcoin.
Yeah, it sounds dangerous. But
well, crypto inherently is dangerous.
The only thing dangerous about us is
you're going to waste your money.
You might get dumber if you listen to this. I have talked to some family members whom I've suggested this to, and texted with some friends. All the friends who are interested in the things I'm interested in seem to really like it. The family members, I'm sensing disinterest, apathy. It's not their thing. It's not their dick slap weasel fondage.
What?
Didn't I ask you about that?
No. Oh. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's a phrase.
You were telling me about Tom and Dick Gazinia.
It's a phrase that came to me, and I must have dreamed it. And I asked you, I said, have you ever heard of Dick Slap Weasel Fondage? And you said, what are you smoking? And I said,
Dick Slap Weasel Fondage.
Yes.
That sounds like something I'd come up with.
Right. That's why I asked you about it. You
apparently,
said no.
I'm rubbing off on you in your dreams. That's not good.
That's not good. That sounds bad.
That sounds bad for everybody involved.
It's worse than the Velveteen Rabbit.
Right.
It's a dirty velvet rabbit. Yeah, I mean, you want to hear some of the stuff I've got down here, or do you? No, yeah,
sure. Why not?
Have we beat to death your
covered
subjects?
my two ideas for the day. I think.
Yeah,
I need to get out more. Is obviously what's going on here.
Yeah, quit living your life through me. Yes.
Here's the last idea, but I want to know. This is a homework assignment for you, Andrew, and for you, listener. Homework assignment is top 5, bottom 5 James Bond movies.
Ooh. Well, the first question, though, should be, who's your favorite Bond?
Is that the first question?
I mean, it's
My
worthwhile.
favorite is, well, it was Sean Connery, but I really like Daniel Craig.
I thought you were going to say, God, what was his name? He was
Timothy
old.
Dalton.
Not Timothy Dalton.
Who was the one guy that was in one of them?
Peter Lawford. Was it Peter
I don't
Lawford?
think so. I don't think
George
it was
Lazenby.
Yeah, it was George Lazenby. It was on
George Lazenby.
On Your Majesty's Secret Service. I
Right.
think was his only.
Right. Based on your other choices in life, I would have guessed you were George Lazenby. Bond.
He's a George Lazenby Bond man.
lover. No, for me, it's Roger Moore, but that's from my my childhood. Roger
Right.
Moore. Would you say Danny Craig?
Danny Craig, I like, but see, that's the problem is he was really good in one of them, and the others were not good. But he was really good in his first one. I didn't particularly like the sequel to that, the follow-up film, and I haven't really enjoyed the other one or two that he was in. That's why I'm a Sean Connery man. Sean Connery.
Oh, yeah. I didn't. So that was the second one with Sean Connery.
That's my second one.
Sean's good.
Roger Moore, really good Bond. I mean,
Yeah, I think I read that Roger, he was trying to be sort of the thinking man's Bond,
right.
whereas the Connery was the rough and tumble Bond.
Who was the GoldenEye guy?
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
I quite liked Pierce. All right, are you ready for some A-list ideas?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hit me, Big Daddy.
Oh, I was going to go with something else, but first, just to
Break the ice.
break the ice. In Polo episode, apparently I was bashing my hands against the recording equipment,
You were.
and you didn't like that.
No, your meat bags.
Meat bags, hooks, meat
Meat
hooks.
me hooks. Pounders.
You said, and I'm just going off of what you said.
Oh
James,
boy, this is not gonna go. I don't like where this is going.
that you would bring me fidget spinners.
I
just want to know,
am I gonna come through on my?
where the fuck are my fidget spinners?
Well,
Where's
there's
my
been a lot of supply chain issues, frankly.
supply chain issues? Once again,
Couldn't
leave
get them
me
from
hanging.
AliExpress.
I've been crying myself to sleep at home. I don't know how many nights since Polo came out. All right, so you've fallen down on the job on fidget spinners. That's fine. I've had another couple of ideas for dating apps. Let's see. We've talked about Shelf,
Yeah, and you had a good one, Plunger, that I thought
Plunger,
we could really go somewhere with that.
and Wrench.
Wrench, yeah.
I had another couple ideas. Squeaky.
Squeaky.
Does it do anything for you? Not so much. All right.
It doesn't. Because it mainly
Oh, and hydraulic. We already talked about that.
hydraulics. Yeah.
How about the, all right. Well, all right. This is almost an object. Fluid.
Fluid very well could be a dating app. I mean, maybe it's just too on the nose, but don't put an S on there. Don't put that S on there. That's what I'm saying.
S's. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, now this is one of the concepts. This is where I was really going with when we had Omar. Yeah, he was like, actually, the last time we recorded, was that last weekend?
We need to have. I like your idea of having Omar and his partner back on here. I think
Betty?
that Betty.
During that episode, or during that recording, we talked about I have actually seen a time traveler.
Right. I've seen one too now. I didn't know what to look for until you described to me how to find them. But much like the Mandela effect, they're alive and well in our lives.
Right. Right. So, I mean, do you want to talk about what your time traveler looked like and your
Yes,
evidence?
I will. Yeah. I will describe my time traveler, and then you can vet whether that's an actual time traveler or just a crazy person.
All right.
This gentleman was in a location, and I saw him there. He was wearing
Now, wait a minute. He talked to you, didn't he?
No, I have not.
Shit.
I've not interacted.
You haven't had contact.
Well,
with the
I
traveler
can't.
yet.
You can't interact with the time travelers.
You got to get through the tachyon field.
Right. The tachyon fields. The if I put my hand in there, it'll probably like wilt.
Right.
You know, like all my hand will grow fingernails real long and hand will die. You know,
it just turned to ash.
Yeah, because you get in that zone. You know, they're moving at a speed that's near the speed of light.
Right. You got to overcome the speed force. So anyway,
right. It's like a black hole there. I mean, I just be sucked in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I can't have that. I need to live my life in this time period.
So anyway, sorry. Back to you. Sorry.
This time traveler, and I know he's a time traveler because of grooming and because of certain accoutrement that he's wearing.
Mm.
He has a very old Western beard.
Ooh, that's definitely different from the time traveler I saw.
Right. This guy got in his time machine in the 1800s and traveled forward in time versus your time traveler that's moving backwards through time.
Yeah, I don't know where my guy was from, but he tried to look like he was from
This time period and
period,
failed.
and he failed.
My time traveler just found a time machine and stepped into it and then was like, what does this do? Ended up here. And at which point I think that the time machine broke down and he can't get back to where he belongs.
Right, but he's not changing who he is.
No.
Because he's Tex from 1860.
Right. He was wearing a beat up black hat. That's a cowboy hat. But it's not your standard like 10-gallon hat. It's like a 4 to 5 gallon hat. It's
like
this is like, you know how like if we were to like have a movie right now, if you and I were going to have a movie about the 1800s and the Old West and we'd fuck it up, this guy has the authentic hat. He stepped in.
But it's a child's hat.
No, it's a man's hat.
But it's a 4 or 5 gallon hat.
Right. You know, a 10-gallon hat is we'd fuck that up and we'd think they're all walking around with 10-gallon hats. But this man has the appropriate hat.
Oh, it's the appropriate size.
It's the appropriate size hat for the appropriate head. That's how I know he's real. Well, clearly he's trying to look like he's from the 1800s. No, this man is from the 1800s. Okay.
Right.
And he also wears a poncho. And I've seen him wear, at this point in time, multiple ponchos.
What's the poncho made of? I mean, is it like Clint Eastwood from Fistful of Dollars? It
is. It's authentic. It's an authentic. It's a set of authentic ponchos.
Did you see if he had any guns? Did he have
I had a discussion.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Right.
So number 3 and I were having a discussion where he also witnessed the time traveler.
Right. You were,
and he turned to me and he said, "Oh my God, it's a time traveler." And I was like, "Holy shit, you're right, number 3."
Wait a minute. Had you and he talked about?
No, this was all happening in the moment. And we were having a discussion about the authenticity of the man's clothing.
So
and then number 3 said, "You think he's got a 6-shooter under there?" And I said, "Holy shit, man. You need to be on our podcast."
Really? No prompting from you?
No prompting at all. No, it was
previous discussion.
No previous discussion. It was all authentic, genuine banter about witnessing a time traveler in real life.
I'm stunned. Because how else would number 3 know to ask you that question? I'm shocked your head didn't explode.
Well, I'll tell you, I was just like, this man is on my wavelength like more than anyone else. Like, I couldn't believe it. It was like the forces of the universe put me and number 3 together in that moment so that we could both witness this and we could share in the moment. Number 3, you have no idea how deep this runs with me. No idea.
Oh God, I'm choking from all the what do they say on the X-Files? The truth is out there.
The truth is out there.
From all the truth that's being revealed to me.
Right. It was so detailed the way you described your time traveler.
Well, you're afraid we might spook him?
No, the time traveler?
He's not going to listen to this. He doesn't know.
No,
well, probably. I wonder if we're being monitored by the time travelers.
Well, we're being monitored by a lot of things. I would be surprised if that wasn't monitoring us either.
I think I would be shocked if it was
I
like
wouldn't
law
be shocked
enforcement. Probably more like
these historical records that we are laying down now.
Mental health advocates, perhaps,
are in the future are like the doctrine of how things are to be in the future.
Right. It could be like wild stallions from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Right. Exactly. It hasn't happened yet.
Whole society is based.
I know Stephen Hawking had a party once where he was waiting for time travelers to show up.
Shit, they didn't come.
They didn't come through for him, but that's because they realized that was too obvious. You know,
right.
But you got to blend in.
Well, you have to feel out You have to feel out the time period that you're in.
Right.
And what better place to start than with mentally challenged individuals who may or may not be doing a podcast.
Right. Now you got to remember on Star Trek, they are always saying they get to a planet, mid 23rd century Earth. They tell their computer mid 23rd century Earth clothing.
Right.
And they go to the replicators and they blend in. Well,
right. It just
much like real life, that's not possible. And ChatGPT of the future isn't able to actually zero in on the style of
got close.
2023.
Got close. With
It got close, but no cigar.
1983.
Right, and but you got to remember the historical accuracy of things is very bad. So it's not like that improved in the future.
It was pretty often in Star Trek that there was a lot of. It was basically let's go down and meet the aliens, and if we have to,
ruin their society,
have sex with them.
Oh yes. I thought it was also to ruin their society.
Well, they were trying not to, but sometimes it would happen.
Well, it was like they were always spouting off about the Prime Directive. Like, oh, the Prime Directive, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But let's just fucking ruin it this one time.
So, yeah. So I just want to finish it off. The last bit of my discovery of the time traveler, and now yours is for future research. Where do you think... It just came to me. It was like an epiphany, like a heaven God sent thing. Where would we be most likely to find more time travelers? I mean, we may see them anywhere, but I was
thinking like the bus station.
I was thinking the Renaissance Fair.
Oh.
Because they think, you know what?
They would blend in.
I can blend in. All these people are trying to look like...
So the 1600s.
And so we got to get practiced up on what they look like and spot the guy who's a little bit off. It's the dude that's wearing, he's trying to be the Viking, but he's wearing the 5-gallon hat. Okay. This was the idea I had while driving with Schwa the other day.
Uh-huh.
We were going to the airport. Of course, what happens, it was like lunchtime, and we get stuck behind people who only have 2 years experience driving, and they don't know how to make a left turn across traffic during slightly moderately busy rush hour. I had an idea about a role-playing game. James and I and some other friends, we play Dungeons and Dragons. And I have played that game off and on for several years. In a perfect world, how could I... Because I was 5 cars back from this person who didn't know, basically, you're not going to get 6 seconds to make your left turn so you feel absolutely comfortable. You're going to get 2 seconds. You got to be paying attention. You can't be jacking around on your phone. You got to watch the traffic as it's coming up to you, looking for the gaps. You got to stomp on the gas and get out of the way. And I thought, the perfect world is impossible, but if we were to have a role-playing game, and in this game, if you're doing that, if you're taking too long, the people behind you get out of their cars and start menacingly walking up towards you with tire irons or bats in hand. And they begin by offering pointed advice about you need to get out of the fucking way.
Role playing, okay, well.
And then there are demerits.
I have some thoughts.
Your thoughts.
My thoughts are, sounds a lot like Grand Theft Auto, I gotta be honest.
Well, I think there would be other nuances. So,
Is this a board game we're playing or a video game?
It's like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's not it's set in medieval times.
It's set in modern times.
Set in modern times, right. Now you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I see what you're laying down. I had a totally different concept going into this.
No. Right, there you go. And so you can...
Is there dice rolling? I mean...
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. If you roll well...
Like, let's say I roll a 17. You know me, I'm not gonna, so let's just pretend like that's gonna happen.
And... so in this instance, charisma would be involved. So you would apply your modifier. Yours might actually be what? A +1?
Probably a +1.
+1.
I know the DM that I'd be working with wouldn't give me anything better than that. He wouldn't let anything fly higher than that. I'd be very lucky to have a +1. Oh, thank you, gracious DM, for giving me a +1 as a modifier. Oh, I see Betsy over here has a +3, but whatever.
Well,
She plays in a different DM. She has a different game altogether.
She's got more game than you do.
That's right.
Okay. She's much more charismatic. You have strengths too. We haven't discovered what they are, but you have them.
They're not on this fucking sheet, I can tell you that much.
Your technology score is through the roof.
Right.
Your focus score. Well, okay, it depends.
My tangent score is through the roof.
Your focus score on technology
Yes.
is like a +8.
Right. Okay. Do I get a magic weapon in this game? I guess it wouldn't be considered magic.
It would be interpreted as magic, but it would be technology based, I bet.
Right. Maybe it would be some sort of generative AI.
Oh, it could be. And the better you do, the more effectively you use it,
Yeah.
it becomes a more powerful weapon.
Right. There you go. And do you dent the man's car?
You might.
Okay.
You might. And there'd be other aspects to it that I feel like you'd be.
What kind of different classes are we talking about here?
Well, I mean, there's probably going to be. I mean, there's going to be everything that would be. I mean, I haven't really thought about it, but there would be.
You're gonna have to put some thought into this. If this is going to be a real game.
There would be. Youngster. There'd be old man, old fat guy. There could be jock.
What about hipster?
Oh, God, there's so many hipsters. I don't know if there could be a hipster class. I guess there could be.
What about millennial?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Millennial, zillennial,
Zillennial? Is that a thing?
Post-zillennial. I get because generation
Z.
Z. It came after generation Y.
All right, so we're Z. What are we going to go to after Z?
POMO. Postmodern Z. POMOs.
If it's me, we're going to go back to A. It's going to be ZA.
Well,
za.
Za.
They're going to be pretty fat.
They're going to be eating a lot of za, man.
It's only if it's plant-based.
Doesn't cast a shadow.
Doesn't cast a shadow. Wait, isn't that? It's another way you can find the time travelers. They don't cast a shadow. Right?
That's right.
This has been James.
And Andrew.
On Fairly Harmless.
Yes.
Once again, this has been Fairly Harmless. Missing the point on... Wait, what's the point? Our musical accompaniment provided by the Boston Horns, East Coast Funk. Their music is available for streaming and purchase on most media platforms. For Fairly Harmless, this has been your announcer, Fast Eddie. See you soon.
That's all I've got to say about that.